just going back to my days in New England. So when I started in '01, it was a personnel assistant and kind of transitioned into quality control role. So in 2002, I was in the press box for the offense, kind of charting things and doing things. And then the following year, I've actually moved to the road. I was going to be on the road doing college scouting, evaluating the top 100 players. And we were kind of transitioning some people into the quality control role, and come to find out in camp, it really didn't work out. And then the first game, I think we played Buffalo in the opener in 2003, if I remember correctly. And, there were some things that going on in the press box. And I'll never forget, I was actually coincidentally, I was at Ohio State. I was at the Ohio State North Carolina State game when Phillip Rivers and Jericho Cotchery were prospects. So this is 2003. It's like the second week of September. So I get a call and they say, "Hey, Nick, can you get to Philadelphia? We were playing the Eagles the next day in Philadelphia." I said, "Yeah, sure, whatever you need." So I flew from Columbus to Philadelphia to go up in the press box and just assume my roles and responsibilities in terms of communicating with the offensive coordinator, getting them the information. So from 2003 until 2020, regardless of my title or role in New England, I was essentially kind of involved in the game day operation. So, and then really when we transitioned here to Houston last season, it was really more to have an awareness of understanding of what was going on during the course of the game. So when you're evaluating a player, when you're evaluating a team, just having an idea of the play call, then you can say, okay, what's the assignment? What's this player going to do? It's really more to make mental notes and to kind of have an overview of the operation and what goes on. It's not about calling plays, but everybody kind of has an imagination of their own.
Well, that's us. I want to let you know, 100% our fault there, and that makes a lot of sense, by the way. If you're trying to learn these coaches too, right? You're trying to learn coaches, how you can expedite things, because from 2003 to 2020, you guys are pretty fucking good up there in New England too. So I apologize that we didn't automatically go, "Oh, that seems like the right move," getting a chance to kind of hear things, because our immediate response, because we never heard anything like this before, was, "Oh, this guy wants to do everything. Why does this guy want to do everything?" And we thought, "Oh, that's on us." I want to let you know we fucked that one up.
Yeah, no, believe me, no apologies. It's sometimes you just have to have context, and I would just say I'm very fortunate and to have a sort of a unique background, the way we kind of were developed in New England. And really, it's try to look at it from an overall football perspective. And as someone that's overseeing the entire football operation, just have an understanding of what is going on, not necessarily provide input. It's really more of an awareness and understanding. And if there's something that does come up after the game, when you kind of do a post-mortem, you can go back and kind of have a reference point. So it's really there to be more ears than necessarily be a voice. And whatever we decide to do this season, like Lovey and I have a good relationship. We talk about everything. Whatever we think makes the most sense, I'm all in favor of. Whatever the best thing for the Houston Texans, and that's what we're going to do.
We apologize for burying you for that. Sorry. we do apologize. Thank you for laughing about it. But, I mean, we had some...
Oh, we said some bad things.
Yeah, we did. We don't need to pull the tape, do we?
No, we've said enough. Go ahead, AJ.
No problem.
If you have that headset on, are there some times when you're more vocal than others, and you tend to be more vocal if you guys are winning or losing?
Yeah, honestly, I kind of keep my mouth shut. So it's just really kind of listening, and really don't want to provide input unless it's actually, if somebody asks my opinion, then I'll provide it. Hey, what do you think about this situation? But there's other teams, I would say you have different people. Let's just take replay as an example, right? Sometimes you have somebody specifically earmarked so that another coach or a position coach or coordinator doesn't have to say, well, should we challenge? Should we not challenge it? Maybe you have one person that says, hey, you know what? This is a play. You know what's not worth throwing the flag. Let's keep the flag and save the challenge so we don't lose a timeout. So I think it's going to be sometimes it's very specific. And a lot of it, from my perspective, is just understanding. In New England, it was more vocal because it was more communication directly to the coordinator and Josh. Hey, the down and distance, what's the personnel that's in the game so they can get the play call. So it all depends on what's the assignment, what you're being asked to do. So I'd say from my perspective, it's more big picture, kind of view the operation, make sure we're moving in the right direction. If something pops up, and we talk about it after the game, maybe something came up in the press box, maybe a coach said something. Again, it's really just to be in tune with what's going on from a holistic approach from a football operational perspective.
You're a Paisan from Ohio. You just played football your whole life, and then scouting was just how you got in the door, basically?
Yeah, actually, I was a football, baseball, basketball guy growing up. Started playing baseball when I was 6 years old. I wasn't good enough. I mean, look, there aren't too many 5'10", 107-pound quarterbacks playing in the NFL, other than maybe Flutie back in his day. But so at some point, I was going to have to transition to something else. Played a little bit of basketball at John Carroll for a little bit, but eventually focused on football. And then when I was finished at John Carroll, I was a finance major. I actually started working at Merrill Lynch. So I thought, I'm going to go into private finance, stay involved there. So then then I realized, you know what? This is probably my last opportunity. If I want to be in football, I'm just going to go try to find an opportunity wherever that is. So I literally I made 2 trips in the summer of 2000, what it would have been 2001. I drove to, or 19, whatever year that was, but I drove to Concordia University, interviewed for a GA job there in Illinois, and then I drove to Saginaw Valley State in Saginaw, Michigan, met with the head coach. Literally took me I didn't know anybody. This was like the old footballscoop.com. You're trying to find a job. All right, hey, online. Oh, Saginaw Valley, they got a job. Let me go up there and see if I can find a job. Literally, that's how it started. So I went up there as a GA. I GA'd there for 2 years, was able to work on my MBA at Saginaw Valley. And then I did